Right. Welcome everybody to our Wow Wednesday. Now, Dr. Sheila will not be on with us tonight. Well, she might pop on if she gets to her daughter's house in time. But Tamra has agreed to come on and kind of be a co-host and kind of help me with the call and get things going. And I so appreciate you, Tamra, for being here.
No
Um,
problem.
I will go ahead and tell you the disclaimer. AO scan technology is not a medical device. It is not intended to treat, diagnose, or mitigate any type of disease. If you are sick, please go and speak with your healthcare provider. Um, and just know that none of the statements here have been uh, verified by the FDA. We just do not want them around. So, anyway, we are just so glad you are all here. I'm going to give you a little recall, or I'll go back and tell everybody what this call is intended for. This is a testimonial call, and it can be on anything that you see on this graphic in the background. We have so many new products and so many products now that there are so many testimonials that can be heard about any of them. Um, and you're welcome to share any of those testimonies. We just welcome you to share anything. Um, if you are new to this call and you don't know any much about the Solex technology or the AO scan technology, please reach out to the person who invited you here if you were invited. If you were not invited, please reach out to me and I'll make sure if you were in our group, I'll find out who did invite you and I will refer you back to the person that invited you to this call or to the group. Because if you've seen the event in the group, then I'm sure somebody has invited you to the group. And I'll get you referred back to your person that invited you because that is the way we want to honor everybody that invites ones. So, Tamara, would you like to add anything?
Just grateful to be of assistance. Love this group and love you guys, even more connected after Day of Discovery. So that just lit a fire under me. I just started. Hi, Dr. Sheila's on. I just started today my first Cephi group um,
Yay!
called Reframing Habits. So I'm super excited about that. And just more focusing on, basically bad habits.
Mhm.
So have my first playlist that was I did this morning before the 1, 2 o'clock thing, and everything I think went well. I have a couple newbies on there that are um, I think that's my downfall is trying to describe frequency, but I do best by giving examples and stories and go, let's see what happens with you. So I am super excited about that group. I grabbed my cohort Shannon to be a part of my group so I could have some more testimonies. My mom and dad, and then Michael too. So I think 8 of us are on there. And then I just had someone message me, can I still join? I'm like, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to share, and just give all the good stuff out there for everyone. I've been in since the end of January, and just kind of slowly, I'm one of those persons I feel like I got to know everything before I do something. But I also have not done all the training I probably should have. I'm a hands-on, like get in there and figure it out. I need to go back and go and get some structured training, but I'm learning as I go, and I have wonderful clients. I'm a hairstylist and massage therapist, so I have wonderful clients that are allowing me to, hey, let's try this, let's try that. I just did a raindrop therapy technique with essential oils on a client, and um, I put the raindrop session and massage room in spaces and objects. I know, right? And then created that playlist. I also used the wand and like a biomat. So she was up for it, and we've done all kinds of things. So like just a regular lay person, I probably wouldn't have done all those things at once. But I saw her today, and she's still standing, and And it was amazing. So it's fun to play with spaces and objects and to think outside the box and create and do anything. So I'm just excited for the possibilities.
Oh, thank you so much, Tamara, for being here. And thank you for sharing that. That is truly,
Mhm.
that's how you get started is just jump in and give it a try. You just don't know who you're going to impact, and you really you don't know what kind of things that you're going to hear from your people when you do these things. So have fun with it. All right, without further ado, we're just going to open it up. So if you would like to share something, please just unmute yourself and let us know how something is affecting you. So go right ahead. Nobody? Dr. Sheila, I know you have one. Do you want to unmute and speak? Or are you in a position where you
Sure.
can?
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great. So a lot of you that are familiar with the other companies that are, have like the different wands, and there's also some foot things. I have all of it. And I have an old ankle injury from when I was 18, broke it when I was roller skating. The last 10 years, I've had a lot of trouble with it. And really working out in the gym, I put a lot of strain on it. It was been really inflamed and like really achy the last couple of weeks. I've done the different foot things that other companies have, was not getting any relief. And I don't have a lot of stuff going on, so it's hard for me to use things and have a testimony. But I thought, people keep asking me if I'm using the Infinity Wand and if I notice any difference. And I'm so busy telling everybody about it, I hadn't taken the time to really use it because I didn't have a lot to really know if I had a difference or not. So I got it out last night and started using it. And literally within a few minutes, I saw the inflammation going down in my ankle because it was very inflamed. I literally saw it going down and I'm like, is that really happening? And I'm moving it and it didn't have that, that achiness. It just felt so full of stuff that was just aching and it was an annoying ache. And it just started going away. And I probably only did, I would say not a complete 10 minutes, but maybe more than 5. So around 7 or 8 minutes. And I just alternate both sides. And I used a warmer setting and then I went back over it with the cooler setting and it just calmed everything down. And I was able to move it again. It wasn't aching like it had been. And then this morning and all day today, I haven't had any ache or irritation. So that made me feel really happy. I can't wait to use more. I just don't think that I'm so busy telling everybody about everything that they they need. I don't think to use it for myself, but I'm glad that I did that. And I'm starting to use it on my face because I do have a lot of sun damage because I love the sun. But I'm going to start being a little more intentional with that and the bright blue in it, and see if I can have a testimony, within 30 days or so.
Thank you, Dr. Sheila. Well, I can piggyback off of that. I know that you guys, some of you know that I have started a gym routine. And today we went to the gym this morning and I actually increased my steps because in between the machines, I will do the little step thing. And steps have always been difficult for me because of the weight I carry and the fact that I'm bone on bone on my right knee. My right knee is, they've told me for years, you need to have a knee replacement. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So then today, after we got back from the gym, Scott had a little bit of a call, and then we ended up going out to Red Rock Canyon and did some hiking for the first time for me in I don't know how many years. So we went to my favorite trail that I had been on in the past, breezed through that trail in the past. This time I was like, ooh, okay, there's lots of steps and going down hills and I mean it was crazy. And we even had the girls with us, so the girls were worn out when we were done, if that tells you anything. I was nothing but a sweat ball, and I was, it was a mess. Anyway, when we got done, I was telling Mariah and Scott, I said my knee is screaming, it hurts. So she had a rollerball oil, and I put that on my knee, but that really didn't really do too much. So when we got home, I jumped in the tub real quick, got all cleaned up, and I thought, oh, I got a few minutes here, so I'm gonna break out the infinity wand, and I did. I turned it on the highest setting, and I went up and down this leg, and both of my feet are hurting because when you're sedentary and you're not doing like hiking and all of those joints in your feet are moving, my feet are hurting tonight. And so I did the wand on the right knee and the right leg and the right foot. That the pain is completely gone. Completely gone. Now my other foot and my other knee is still got a little painful in it. So I was so excited because, like Dr. Sheila, we've been using all these tools for so long that it's hard for us to come up with a testimonial because we've been using them every day. So today, for me to have this information and notably feel it, the fact that I couldn't even walk without keeping that leg straight because my knee was in so much pain, and then using that, and now I'm sitting here in the chair, and I'm just like going, wow, the pain isn't even there. And it's not as tight as it was. It felt like there was like a band all the way around my knee because the inflammation was so bad. Because we did a lot, but it was amazing, and I'm so proud of myself. And I'm just so happy that we had this, and had the ability for me to give it a try. And like Dr. Sheila said, it's like less than 5 minutes. I only had a few minutes right before the call to do that. And I think maybe 3-5 minutes at the most is all I did on that knee and that leg. And then, of course, I did a little blowing right up in here a little bit, but then I jumped in here and got on the call. So I'm super excited. There's a big difference. And I just got done hair drying my hair with the other product, because I'm just using that as a hair dryer now. So anyway, it's incredible. It is incredible. You guys need to get you a wand if you can ever, when you get to the point where you can afford one. I would say it would be worth every penny. So, and
Tammy,
yeah,
when you turn it on, do you notice anything with your nervous system? Like when I
I
turn
do.
mine on, my nervous system just relaxes. The sound is just so calming. It
Yes.
blows my mind.
That's exactly what I kind of told Scott too. I said, when I turned it off, it's almost like I wanted to turn it back on. I was like, oh, I don't want to be done,
Yeah.
so yes, I do notice that. I notice that there is a big calming. I can't wait to try it on the girls. I have not done that yet, but they won't come near the iTerra Now, Piggy Britches loved the iTerra, but I have not. They will not go near that other one. So I will try the Infinity on them at some point and see how they do. But that'll be proof in the pudding. So, all right. Anybody else like to share something? Just unmute yourself, and it can be small, it can be big.
Quantum
Go
Quantum
ahead.
Boss here.
Hi, come on.
Yeah, it's just something small. Been with the AO scan pretty much from the beginning,
Yeah.
but I always see the glasses and the colors and never bought the glasses. So I guess one of the calls recently, Lauren said, like you really got to get the glasses. So I got them. I haven't been using them as much, but at least I got them and I'm using them. And I do find that it is optimizing myself. But the one story that I do have, my wife, I didn't know she had a migraine, but I did the scan on her and I gave her the glasses. She's like, oh, that's the same color you told me the last time, but she didn't wear them. So I gave her the glasses and she said her migraine went away instantly. I said, you never told me you had a migraine. I was like, okay, wear the glasses.
Nice. Thank you.
That is so awesome. I've been talking about the glasses more and more, but if I can for a minute just share something, the mind sync is blowing my mind. I am doing mine before bed because this is how I coach people is reprogramming if you are intentional about the messages that you're focused on before you sleep, that gives your subconscious all night long to focus on that. And I have been sleeping like I have not slept in years, just doing those affirmations. And I'm so grateful that Lauren has made it to where we can record our own voices, because I know for me, I feel my cells respond when they hear my voice speaking these things that might be challenging for me to speak out loud because my conscious brain won't accept them. But I need to accept them. And so I love the way Lauren explained that, is breaking that conscious barrier that's our protective barrier, but it also holds back in life. So I'm just grateful, and I hope that everybody is using their mind sync. It is valuable.
I know that's exactly when I listened to mine. Is the first night I did it. I will tell you that I don't know if maybe I had the volume up just a little bit to the wrong way or something, but I didn't do well that night. So but I have done it 2 or 3 nights now where I've adjusted the volume and everything just the right way, and it's like, oh, holy cow, this is amazing. So I do mine at nighttime as well, and then in the morning when we do our scanning, if I have the time. This morning I did not have the time because we have a Cephi group that we're running too, but normally I'll do my morning one every morning too, and I wear my glasses through that. It is, guys, I cannot say it enough. This is the most incredible tool that we have in our hands, and there's so many things that you can do with it. And just say, get in there and play with it and use it. And if something's not right, just go back in and adjust it, with the mind sync, and try it again. Keep trying it until you find that sweet spot, because it is a sweet spot. It took me about 3 or 4 times to finally figure that out for myself. And everybody's going to be different, so there's not really a set protocol or a set setting. Everybody's going to be different with it, so you're just going to have to mess around with it to find it. But when you hear that, just kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. It's almost angelic. So anybody
Yeah, and
else?
some people.
Go ahead.
Sorry, for me, it was only a couple of times in where I got the hearing in the middle. And the way how I can explain it for myself is a newfound of confidence.
Yeah.
I was actually sitting on top of my reticulated activated system, basically telling it to shut up.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Dr. Sheila, what else did you want to say?
That makes me laugh. I just love that. Gregory, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Some people are posting that their recordings are getting cut off and it's garbled, and that is going to happen the first 3 to 4 times.
Yeah.
It's just glitchy the first 3 or 4 times, but it smooths out if you'll just keep going. 5 or 6 is where it really starts smoothing out. So don't give up.
Yeah. I noticed that too. Thanks for bringing that out. And I thought, okay, I just need to keep doing it. The first couple of times were really bad, but after the 3rd time, I was like, oh, okay. So, all right. Anybody else like to share anything?
I have a question. Is anyone using the rose-colored glasses? And if so, if anybody's experiencing anything with the rose-colored glasses. I do mine. I'll listen to the tones with my glasses, and then when I'm done, I'll put the glasses on and then go about my morning routine wearing those. But I just feel like it's a good way to start the day. But just curious if anyone else has any testimonials on the rose-colored glasses.
I know for myself, I got away from Day of Discovery without grabbing some of those. And I'm like, oh my God. And the pink bracelet, I got away from doing that. So that's going to be on my next order, but I'm excited to try them. So anybody have anything with the rose colored?
Can
I
anybody
do it.
tell?
Yeah.
Can
Did
anybody
you
tell
get them,
us?
Greg?
No, I just want to know a little bit about it. I don't know what it's about.
Well, they
Good.
released rose colored glasses. Dr. Sheila, if you know, I guess I was purchasing something because I completely missed what the announcement on it. So go for it.
Yeah, it's separate from the inner voice. It will not be part of inner voice, but it actually is for the nervous system. It calms and relaxes the nervous system, and you can feel that. It's really great for people that maybe have anxiety or ADHD or any of those things that affect the nervous system that cause that high stress, or if sympathetic is out of balance, parasympathetic. It really is great for regulating autonomic nervous system.
I think I need about 4 of them right now.
Right? I think I do too. I could kick myself for not grabbing them when we were there, but I got sidetracked or got pulled away and just completely forgot. But we'll get them ordered. I love my glasses. I have used them from day one, and I think that has what has caused the biggest change in me. Because they're just incredible with the inner voice, you guys, and with anything you're doing. Go ahead,
I think they're
Deborah.
a game
Yeah, go
changer
ahead.
for sure.
Yes. Deb, you
Yeah,
unmuted?
it was posted on a post about wearing them when you're using electronics for blue light.
Oh,
They're supposed to be good for blue light as well. So I should have mine on now,
yeah,
but I don't. But I did see that posted in
cool.
a group.
Thank you. Thank you for telling us that.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else?
Tammy, I have one I'd like to share.
Go for it, hon.
I don't know if any of you know. Anyway, I've been doing emotion code work and have a client that we ran a scan on prior to doing the emotion code, and just out of curiosity. And what I was looking for is how the accuracy probably of how it would relate to doing a session on somebody. And with this particular situation, we did the scan, the vital scan, and then within there were three of them that were pulled from the vital scan report that actually showed up as trapped emotions in the client. So it was really useful, and it was really amazing too how spot on it was. So really amazing.
Well, even when you did my emotion code the other day, I went back into my body systems, and you had detected in my session shock and sadness. I remember those two specifically. And in my body systems, shock was listed 3 times and sadness was listed 1 time. So that was, I mean, just flipping amazing. I'm like, wow. Yeah. Every emotion code person needs to have the scanner to help them out with it as well, with what they do in emotion code, because it's gonna help release some of those.
Oh yeah, very useful tool.
Yeah. All right, anybody else?
I have something. I was sorry, I'm just driving right now, but
okay.
my girlfriend went away, and I've been doing a lot of scans on her, and she phoned me up. She said, Nancy, my blood pressure is through the roof and I can't sleep and I'm so stressed out. Can you do anything for me? So anyway, I did the high blood pressure Cephi on her, and I did some relaxation, and oh yeah, and insomnia. I did all those, and I'm always afraid to phone them the next day to find out if I passed. Anyway, I phoned her in the morning, and she was so happy. She had the best sleep that she's had in weeks, and her blood pressure was good, and it was just so great. So I just thought I had to share that.
Wonderful. Get her on the pulse. I can tell you.
Yeah.
Pulse is amazing for circulatory and blood pressure issues, all of that.
Yeah, well, I have high blood pressure too, so I just bought the pulse, so I can't wait to get on that.
Go low and slow when you first start. Please do that.
Okay.
If you don't feel anything, if you don't get a flush with 4 or 5 pumps, then you can add a few more pumps. But a lot of people, like I'm up to 20 pumps in the morning, and I absolutely love the way it makes me feel. And I've dropped 15 pounds since I've been using it. Now, I was a tester for it, just so it's not just been like a week that I've been using it and I've lost 15 pounds. So let me let you
Awesome.
know that I was a tester for it. And so I've been using it for about a month, about 6 weeks now.
Wow, that's great.
It's amazing. I mean, it is
Yeah.
amazing.
I
Well,
can only do 2
congratulations.
Oh, wow.
and I did 4 or 5 one time and I about passed out. So
I remember you telling me that. Yeah. Okay.
so yeah,
Yeah,
low
go
and slow.
low and slow. And then there's people like I have a really good friend that I meet with, and she came to the event, and she goes, I didn't get nothing. I don't get nothing. And I'm like, you need to increase it, Michelle. So she's been, I think she's up to 15 pumps too before she actually felt something. So, and it's an incredible thing. I love it. Scott's like you, and I turn red just all over and splotchy all over, and I start itching. But I just love the feeling because, and the itchiness. Honestly, I was talking to somebody. I said the itchiness, or someone had told me, well, that's a histamine reaction, and I'm like, well, I think it's a histamine reaction to whatever's stored in my fat cells. That's what I'm having a reaction.
So what are you supposed to feel?
You get a flush.
Okay.
You'll kind of like have you ever done a niacin flush at all?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay, well your skin will turn, I mean you will turn red. I mean you just do. And I know with me for the first few times that I was using it, and I actually was consulting with another QLA on our team that was testing it too, and I hit her up and I said, "Hey, I get red all over except from the waist down." And she goes, well, you've got a lymphatic blockage of some sort. So she did some energetic work on me. And then the next day I used it and I flushed from head to toe. It was so exciting. And I took pictures of it. And I said, this is amazing. And I just red and splotchy. And some people will itch.
Mhm.
Some people, it feels kind of like a sunburn to them. But it goes away pretty quickly. It's within about, I think it's about 10 minutes after me taking it is when I feel it, and then about 30 minutes after that it's done, it's gone. But you just feel like $1,000,000, or I do.
Yeah, sure. Um, you can Google niacin flush, but
Okay.
Dr. Wu, after the Desert Storm war, that was the most chemical toxic war that our people were exposed to, and he is the one that came up with the niacin flush protocol for detoxing these men. So that's another reason people can experience some weight loss, is because oftentimes fat cells are formed to hold on to toxins that we aren't able to get rid of. So that's what that flush is. It's getting rid of toxicity in the cells.
I got plenty of that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I think that's the reason why I love it so much. When I called Laura, I actually called Lauren right after we got back. Well, I messaged him. I said, could you give me a call about something? I want to tell you something really exciting. And so he called me and we discussed it, and he was so excited for me. And what he did tell me, and this might be good for those of you that struggle with any type of weight, he did tell me, he said, now Tammy, he said, I want you to add the Solex X. He goes, have you taken that? And I said, oh yeah, I took it when we first came out, and I have some on hand and we'll take it periodically. He said, do this for me. He said, if you will take it 3 days a month, every month for 3 days, and he says it will actually help the absorption in your colon better. It is also anti-cancer. And I was like, oh wow. But he said what will happen is it will start cleaning the walls of your colon from all the junk that kind of packs on, and then you're able to absorb the nutrients out of things a lot better. So that is something also that is on my order list for the next order that I put in, is I'm going to start using the X. And he says if you'll just do it, he said probably around the parasite time, do the 3 days, and then, just report back and let me know what happens then, because he was just elated for me. He goes, well, weight loss is just like a byproduct of it. He said, that's not the reason why we brought it to the market. He said, but it's just incredible that you're having this great of a experience with it, because I have done gyms before in the past. I have done, fitness things, and getting past this point and actually getting under the 300 mark has been a huge thing for me. And the moment I did that, I messaged quite a few of my friends here, even Dr. Sheila. I said, oh my God, look, I'm at 299. I can't believe it. I just wanted to scream it to everybody. So, and I know that probably doesn't seem like a big deal to most of you guys, but to me it is, because I have fluctuated probably 305 to 315 ever since I had my babies. And it's just been a constant battle for me. And I'm a clean eater. I do all the right things, but because of that stomach stapling, I'm a little wired different than everybody else. So I have really struggled, but Dr. Becky has also helped me with reading my scans and looking at it and giving me some suggestions, and I am doing those too. So I know it's probably a combination of everything, but I'm telling you, that pulse, I know for a fact that pulse is what's doing it. So anyway, that's all. Anybody else want to share anything? I'm so excited about this stuff.
I don't have a product testimonial except for using the Cephi. My daughter yesterday had an MRA and with contrast, and she has had issues ever since she got COVID. It affected her heart. She has pressure in this area of her chest that none of the doctors have been able to diagnose. And so finally she had a doctor who said, let's get an MRA of it with contrast. And they were doing that yesterday. And she had a tremendous reaction to the contrast that they put in her. They pulled her out and set her up. They said her eyes got really red and her face went white and her blood pressure tanked. And she began to just dry heave and throw up, all over the place. And she said, I got a free shirt because I ruined my shirt. But anyway, she called me and she said, I need help. So I started, running all the detox programs, trying to get that junk out of her. And by the time she got home, she was in Oklahoma City and drove home to Enid. She was feeling better and she's back to her normal self today. So I just praise God for that.
Yeah, you might consider getting her on the blue, because that Dr. Bennett said that is one of the products. That is one of the reasons why he brought this product to Solex, is because so many people have dealt with long haulers and they've not been able to get through and get out of that situation. But the methylene blue has actually been very pivotal in their life in reversing all of those bad effects. So now methylene blue, if you're on SSRIs, you can't take it, but if you're not on anything like that, you can surely take it. And we have his email, and we share it in the team chat. If anybody ever needs to email him, you can email him and ask him. He opened that up at DoD for any of us to email him and ask him any questions. And if Sherry, if you need that, I'll put it in the chat again.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Someone asked me on the Solex X in the chat. He told me to do it 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row. Just pick 3 days in the month and do that. And you do it at night is when you take Solex X. And when that was released, guys, I'll just give you a little backstory on that. When Solex X was released, we had a colon hydrotherapist that actually didn't present. She came on the stage and actually said that they were testing the product prior to Solex putting it out. And she had been a hydrotherapist for, I want to say 20 or 30 years, if my memory recalls. And she said from the stage that it is the first colon cleanse that she has ever seen that truly is gentle, but yet comes out everything out of the colon and off the colon walls. She did it with many clients, so I was amazed at that because I've been to colon hydrotherapists too, and you get to watch all that stuff coming out. So I'm kind of anxious to get to going on that too, and then going to my hydrotherapist and see what she says as well. So um, it's when you're supposed to do it is at night, because that's when I can't remember, Shelley, why he said to do that at nighttime. But I think that's when, you're not eating and you don't have all this stuff going on, and it gives the body chance to actually clean up, and then in the morning you evacuate. So, and it is a very gentle cleanse. Doesn't taste very good, so put it in a little bit of apple juice, and do one of those little emulsifiers because it's hard to stir up. But if you've got one of those little, you see them on everybody that does like these shakes and stuff. They're like little hand blenders, but if you'll do that, it'll mix up real good. So, all right, anybody else?
Tammy, I did the pulse last night, or about 5 o'clock
Okay.
last night. I slept 1 hour, and that was it. I was up all night washing floors, cleaning cabinets. I mean, I still haven't gone to sleep yet. I
don't
hope I
think
sleep tonight.
yeah, I don't think I would do that. I never have done mine at night. I always do mine first thing in the morning. I mean, the moment I wake up, right before we go out to the deck to scan and do our routine, I put what I do with mine, just to let you guys know, because I don't like the taste of it. But I take a lot of different powders and liquids because of the stomach stabling. So I get a little bit of water in a little jar. I put my pulse in there. I've got like curcumin drops, and I've got my collagen powder, and then I also have a mitochondria powder that I use. I put my Solex fulvic gold in there. I do 2 droppers of that, and iodine. And then I mix all that up and I put it down, and then we go out to the deck and we do our thing, and then I drink a thing of water. So anyway, that's how I do it. And the methylene blue, I've also been told that people will put that in water and put it down, that way it doesn't make your mouth blue, but it doesn't work for me. So I just shoot it at the back of my throat. I just lean my head back and shoot it at the back of my throat and swallow it and go on, because it's not very tasty. So
How many drops of the methylene blue are you doing?
well, when we got back, we were sick from DOD, and we were doing 30 pump or 10 pumps 3 times a day while we were sick. Now I'm just doing it in the morning. I do 10 pumps in the morning.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, the oximeter that we got in our gift packages. Take and do your pulse and your heartbeat in the morning before you do your pulse, and then about 10 minutes later, do it again.
Oh,
And
okay.
mine jumped up to 98. Now I run 96, 97. I never run 98. And 98% oxygen. I mean, so that's the first time I've ever tested it that way. So I know it's working. But that's one of the things I read on one of the YouTube videos that I just posted on the back office there.
Nice.
He talks about how to test the uptake of the nitric oxide and use your oximeter to do so.
Very nice. Thank you, because mine's still sitting in my bag back here. I mean, I have one that we've had anyway, because I have 2 boys that have asthma, so I always have one on hand. But yeah, I'll have to do that. Thank you, Vicky. That'll be a great thing to publish too on Facebook for everybody to see. All right, anybody else?
Hi, Tammy.
Hi.
I have a cute story, actually. my granddaughter, who's 9. I've been scanning her voice for quite a while, and I don't see her very often. They don't come to the house much because they live in town now. Anyways, they spent the weekend with me, and they happened to see my Seffi dot on my arm. And I explained to them, what it was and how it's helping my broken arm. So she asked for one, and I gave her one. I had her go to I believe it's the affirmations and pick one. So she chose, was it self-confidence, self-esteem, and love, or something like that trio. So I imprinted it for her, put it on her arm, and then it was time to take her to her dad's because they're not together. And the his girlfriend picks her up, and typically, and this is coming from her, not from Sophia, my granddaughter. I spoke with her last week, and she said that Sophia never, she says hi, but never hugs me in the many years I picked her up. She just goes right in the van and goes back there and sits with the other kids or just chills out. She said that on that particular day, literally after I gave her Seffi dot, she came up to her, hugged her, and talked to her for a second as they got in the vehicle. And then she turned around, and when she noticed that dot was on her, so she asked her, she goes, "Oh, my grandma gave me that." She goes, "Really?" Goes, "Yeah, she programmed me with lots of love."
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah.
That's
So I
incredible.
just wanted to share that last week when when you were talking about grandkids, and it's like I had forgotten about it, so wanted to make sure I share it today.
Yeah, that is so cool. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Now I
I
have
know
a
my
lot of all my grandkids.
Yeah, I know my grandbabies. Today I actually imprinted the EMF playlist in their Cephi dot today when we went over to pick them up, and Samuel goes, Cephi dots, and I went, yes, I've got you one, and of course they both wear one of the little bracelets too that I imprint from afar. So I imprint their bracelets about every 3 days with good stuff. And what I will say that my husband and I noticed that Maddie, who can be extremely moody, you either get a really sweet little girl or you get a really just that type of good, kind of response from her, or don't look at me, or or something like that. But today her pops was swinging her in the swing, and he said that he had grabbed her legs and pulled her. You know how you'll grab their legs and hold them for a second, and she just looked at pops and she goes, "You're so cute." I went, "Aw, how sweet." So something's working.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, her girlfriend, or her dad's girlfriend, then let me know that that whole entire day she was really good. Um, the next day it was kind of like not quite back to the old Sophie,
Yeah.
but attitude picked up. And she also noticed that the Cephi dot was no longer on her.
Ah.
So when I was talking with Sophie, because she told me the same thing, that she says, well, my sister or stepsister, whoever it was over there, dared her to take it off. And she did. So
You may
interesting.
you may have to invest in a bracelet or two with for your grandbabies, and then you can imprint, because they're kind of fun. The kids love to wear them. They just think it's cool. So she might keep that, and maybe one of the
Oh
pretty
no.
bracelets, because one of
Yeah.
our chakra ones will actually they will actually adjust smaller, and I think the tiger eye does. But all the others are pretty much one size. But the chakra one, you can make it smaller for a little kid.
Mm. Well, I tried giving her one of my bracelets, and that I had bought. I had a few extra ones, and she says, "Can you have this back and give me back the blue dot?"
Oh, well, Well, you might just have to supply her with blue dots and then just put one in your scanner and spaces and objects in her profile. And then you can go in there and imprint that anytime you want. So
Okay, I definitely will. Thank you.
you're welcome. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share? Got a few more minutes.
If Shannon is on here, she shared with me about her daughter. Shannon, if you want to share,
Love to hear
call,
it.
could call you out, Shannon, but if not, I know briefly that.
Yeah, she's not unmuting, but she may not be close to wherever she, who knows.
Mary, you're muted.
Well, okay. Thank you, John. Blah, blah, blah.
Repeat?
Basically, her daughter fell down or fell off her bike, hurt her hand. They went to the ER because her daughter was fearful that she broke something. So I talked to her today and asked for another reason how her daughter is doing. She said, oh, I scrapped that and was focusing on the pain. And she said today, no bruise, no nothing, no pain. And I was like, cool. So
Wow.
someday she can tell that story fully in more detail, but that was pretty impressive.
Very nice. Very, very nice. I know there's always little stories about, where you think you're gonna wake up the next day and have this big old bruise or something and there's nothing there after you ran a frequency or something. All right. Anybody else like to share anything?
Hey, Tammy.
Hi,
I'll
Dr.
share.
Jane.
I have the Bruce story.
Well, please share away.
I just love having this medicine cabinet right at our disposal. It's so amazing.
It is.
So today I was just being clumsy and I ran into something. I don't even know what, but that night I realized I had a bruise on the side of my leg. And so I was getting ready to go out of town and I didn't feel like dealing with it. So I just made a Cephi dot of arnica. And because I know arnica cream works for bruises. So I made a Cephi dot of arnica. It's under homeopathics. I put it right next to the bruise, went on out of town and forgot about it. And I hadn't looked at it anymore. I noticed on the 5th day it was 90% gone, which is pretty fast. It was probably almost gone before that, but I hadn't even looked at it. So that was pretty cool. And then I was at a water park the other day with my daughter, and the chlorine always gets to me. So I had to go, we were outside, but it was still, so after a few times down the water slide, I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm tapping out. So I went over to the side and I got on a lawn chair and I'm just feeling, kind of faint, just how you feel when you get exposed to all those chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
So I did chemical detox in the homeoenergetics. And I mean, it was almost instant. I felt better almost instantaneously. Yeah,
awesome.
It was bad. So it's just so good to always have what you need.
It is.
So I'm here. I'm out of town again, and this I carry this little shot glass with me so I can do my remedies. So I do all of my midday, evening scans, imprint in this, drink it, and I always have what I need.
Love it. Yeah, we have such an amazing little tool in our hands, you guys. You can use it for everything and anything.
Everything.
Yes. And I just sense that we're just going to be blown away in another 6 months because of the stuff that we're going to get. And then, we do have this hub coming out soon. So I can only imagine what all that's going to do. So, all right. We've got just a couple more minutes. If anybody would like to share anything before we got to do the Solex call, just unmute yourself and share.
Tammy, I know I mentioned the blue light. I did find the post, so I just wanted to let everybody know. It says rose-colored benefits, increased feelings of love and joy, increased relaxation, stress relief, calming aggression, supports natural appetite control, and computer glare relief, or the blue light. And then also, it helps to regulate energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, when you use the colored glass, the colored glasses. So
Very nice.
I just thought that was interesting. So
it is. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yep.
Sounds like to me that need the Solex rose-colored glasses.
We all need them.
Better grab them.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So in the group, I was requesting a playlist for what is it, hand, mouth, foot disease or something like that. Anyways, the one thing I did forget to ask, so I did get a playlist. One had 15 that somebody recommended, and then the one that's in the symptoms doesn't have quite as much. She's 2 years old. Do I just run it for the 2 minutes and that's it?
Really, I mean, honestly, even if you run it longer, her body's only going to use what it needs. So there's not
That's
any
what I thought.
harm with it. However, there are people that are more sensitive. Like I know with my mom, when I was working with her, my mom is very sensitive to frequencies. She's just a sensitive person. And there would be times that I'd be running a playlist and I forget to shut it off. Well, she'd call me in the middle of the night. Tammy, are you still running that? Because I am not feeling so good. Sure enough, I'd wake up and go, oh God, I forgot. I forgot to turn it off, Mom. I'm so sorry. But with kids and with you just need to fill them out. So just make sure you just check in with her and just make sure she's feeling okay. And if she is, I don't think you'll have a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll give it one more minute here. If anybody has any last things they'd like to share. All right. We thank you so much for being here and all the ones that are new. If you came in a little late, just please follow up with the person that invited you here. If you don't know who you invited you here, then just reach out to me and I'll find out who invited you in the group, and refer you to that person. But we thank you so much for being here and participating. And please invite your interested ones. You're more than welcome to invite them to this call. There might be something that they, that just kind of motivates them to ask you more, or maybe try a 3-day, or maybe they're ready to jump in. So invite your interested ones. This call is open to anybody in the Solex. It's not just my team doing it. So you're welcome to invite ones and bring them on. Tamara, would you like to close with anything?
Just always want to say thank you, Tammy, Sheila, everyone, because it's a group effort, but you're our leader.
I appreciate you.
So just thank you to everyone for always sharing. It's a collective thing. We're changing the world.
We are one frequency at a time.
That's right.
Tammy, this is Mariah. Can I say something real quickly?
Yes, ma'am. Go for it.
Everybody, I wanted to share that my experience was very subtle and it's still very impressive to myself. I kept saying dental detox, and I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm irritating my gums and toothpaste is getting down there, or something I ate, and I didn't get it. I just wasn't understanding what it was. And a couple of weeks ago, I went to a new dentist, and they sent me to another specialty dentist to do a 3D x-ray because the damage is really, really down and I'm not feeling anything. And then I realized that's why it kept saying dental detox. So this infection is super low. It's been here 10, 12 plus years. And they're amazed that I'm not having issues with it. And I've realized that that's what that dental detox was.
Nice. Yeah, you never know. When you see that pop up on your easy scan, if there's something that continually shows up, you might want to look a little deeper at it and figure out why does that keep showing up on the homeopathics, that is, or even a supplement. If you have a supplement that keeps coming up and maybe maybe you have taken it, nothing has changed, but you keep seeing it, there might be something underlying that it's wanting you to pay attention to. So thank you so much for sharing. All right, we are a minute away from Soleil's call. Thank you all for being here. Be here next week, and we'll see you then. Love you guys.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you.